Hey everyone, how are we doing? Welcome to Wednesday's Index Infusion call. For all of my regulars on the call, you know that the first Wednesday of the month is indeed mindset, right? And it's super important to understand that mindset is 95% of what we are doing in this space, right? It really does gear us in whatever direction in terms of our results, in terms of how we're feeling, in terms of all of those things. And it's really important to hone down on how we are feeling, understanding what is happening in our day-to-day lives, why we're getting the results that we're getting, why we're feeling the way that we are feeling. And it really does have a knock-on effect, right? So we are indeed on week two of Deposit with Discipline for Dubai. I would like you guys to drop into the chat box one word to describe your journey so far. No worries, Tanisha, right? One word to describe your journey so far with Deposit for Dubai, right? Drop me in one word. How has it been going for you? How have you been feeling in the last 2 weeks? Exciting, Tanisha. I love that. Absolutely love that. Exciting. Roller coaster, Tracy. Yes, I can definitely understand that one. Positive, Simone. Interesting, Marcia. Steady, Deborah. Okay, amazing. Hopeful, Gillian. Structured, Lavinia. I love that. Yes, today's NFT was absolutely amazing. People were getting them left, right, and center. Profitable, Michelle. Love that. Focus. Yes. Amazing. I absolutely love those words, right? But just in the group that we have here, you can see the difference, right? In everyone's story. Some people are like, yeah, I've had my good and my bad days. Some people are like, yeah, profitable, really good. Some people are like, yeah, it's going all right. It's been interesting. So it's really important to delve into it. It's really important to delve into how do we get the results that we're getting, right? How do we feel when we're getting into the trades? How do we feel when we're getting into the trades, right? So it is, of course, Withdrawal Wednesday as well, and we will touch on that a little bit, right? But I just want to focus on everyone's mindset, right? So we've got these words in about how you found Deposit for Dubai. I want you guys to drop into the chat box now one word that describes your mindset for today. One word that describes your mindset for today, right? What is the first word that popped into your head when I just asked that question, right? Drop into the chat box one word that describes your mindset. Amazing. So we've got determined, committed, powerful. Amazing. I love that. Keep that coming in. Focus, persistent, discipline, focused again. Amazing. I love that. We did speak about focus with our chair lady, so I'm glad that that is ringing out. Disciplined, positive also. Amazing. Positive. Great. I love that. This is what I want to see, right? I want to see the way that we are feeling, because that has a knock-on effect. I want to ask you a question, guys. When you're feeling positive, you're in a great mood, you're disciplined, you're not distracted, what are your trading results like, right? What are your trading results like when you're in a good mindset, right? You're doing okay, you've got a lot going on, but you've got support, you've got friends, you've got family, you've got, see, profitable, right? A+, better, right? This is why we always say, don't trade in the wrong mindset. And I've heard of it, right? I've heard it because, and I felt it. I've been in the wrong mindset. I placed the trade. And it's not necessarily that the trade hit stop loss or anything like that. But then what you do afterwards, right, is the thing that happens when you're in the wrong mindset. You might say, oh no, I'm just going to jump in again, right? Or you get frustrated, or it affects the rest of your day, or whatever it is. So we don't trade in the wrong mindset because our judgment is off, right? Our judgment is clouded when you've got a lot going on, when you just got a parking ticket, when the kids are running up and down, when you're tired, when you're stressed, when whatever these feelings are, they cloud your judgment, right? And it may be so slight, ever so slight, but something that one day you would have closed that trade and you would have been fine. The next day you're holding on to that trade, waiting for it to go blue. The next day you're over leveraging just by a little bit. The other day you would have stuck to your, just little things like that really do affect the way your mind works, right? It really does affect your mind work, because when you are in a positive mindset, when you are in a great mindset, then things don't seem to affect you as much, right? Things don't seem to affect you as much. So last week, I know we focused a lot about making a profit and withdrawals, but we know that there are two sides to every coin, right? So today I want to focus on the emotions that we feel when we have a loss, guys, because it happens, right? There is no way we're going to get 100% of our trades to hit TP every single time, guys, right? But what I want, and what we want as leaders, is to make sure that you guys are understanding your emotions through that cycle, right? So if you hear things all the time about if you can't control it, right, then we have to work out how we react to it. How do we react to it? So guys, let me know, how do you react to your losses, right? And I want to speak about two types of losses, right? So your first loss is you followed all the rules. You followed all the rules, you got your TP, you got your stop loss, you've got the correct leverage, right? How do you feel? How, we want to talk about your emotions. How do you feel when you've taken that lesson, right? You followed all the rules, you're all good, you put your TP, you put your stop loss, you got the right lot size, you weren't trading something that you weren't meant to be trading. How do you feel when your trade hits stop loss, right? And this is a super transparent call. I want you guys to just understand how the emotions, because once you understand the emotions, then you know how to deal with them, right? So we've got take it as a lesson, really disappointed, gutted, disappointed, but understand you can't win every time. Okay, as I understand losses happen and it helps to understand the losses. Amazing. Any others, guys? Drop into the chat box. How do you feel when you followed the rules and you've hit a stop loss? Frustrated, Marcia. Big lesson, start of a journey. Amazing. Anyone else, guys, right? We've got to identify that feeling, right? We've got to identify what happens when we have that feeling, right? All right, so want to get it back? Most definitely, we've heard that one before. All right, so second emotion, guys. How do you feel when you've had a loss and you didn't follow the rules? You over leveraged, maybe you didn't put a stop loss, maybe you might have blown an account. How do you feel then? How do you feel then? How do you feel when you haven't followed the rules and you've had a loss, right? How do you feel? Shy away from trading, disappointed, want to get it back, then lose every more, and then want to give up. Bad, upset. Okay. Any more, guys? Serves you right. Frustrated with yourself for not following the rules. like your mum has spanked you, feel like you deserve what you got. Okay, right? So can you guys see you lose confidence? Can you guys see the difference in just mindset and how you look at yourself, whether versus when you follow the rules and versus when you don't follow the rules, right? And this is what that video spoke about having self-discipline. But self-discipline is also self-love, guys, right? We don't want to be frustrated with ourselves. We don't want to be cussing ourselves, because I've most definitely done it. Oh, that was so silly. Why would you do that? We don't want to have those feelings. We don't want to be angry with ourselves. We don't want to feel like we deserved what happened to us, right? But when we don't follow the rules, these are the type of emotions that we get, right? We are burnt 10 times more when we don't follow the rules, right? We get frustrated, we throw down the phone, we're not trading anymore, it's not working for me, I've lost so much money, etc., etc., etc. Would you agree with me, guys, that that second feeling is self-inflicted, right? That second feeling is self-inflicted. Why would we want to put ourselves through that feeling, right? Why would we, knowingly that if we don't put a stop loss on, there's a potential that I might blow my account. If I blow my account, there's a potential that I am going to feel like this, and I'm going to want to not trade anymore, or take some time out, or all of these things, right? But why do we feel like, why do we do that to ourselves, right? It's like what Will Smith said in that video, is that we say we want to lose weight. I am guilty of this, guys. I'm going to hold my hand up to this one. We say we want to lose weight, right? But then we'll eat a pizza, or we eat a burger, or chocolate, or all of these things, self-inflicted, guys. We really have to understand that we need to love ourselves. And when we love ourselves, that means that we are going to do everything in our power to make sure that we have the best results, we have the best experience. We do not put ourselves through that turmoil for absolutely no reason, because we know we've got rules to follow. So it's so much more than the leaders and the educators telling you the rules. It's so much more than that. It's about protecting your mindset, right? Julian said yes, because it tastes nice. I hear that. I hear it. It does taste nice, but that taste is not going to last forever. It's not. It's like when you over leverage, right? You put on the bigger lot size and you see yourself in blue and you're like, yes, amazing. Next minute you get that candle, you're in drawdown. It don't taste nice no more, does it? Right? And these are the things that we go through, that immediate gratification that we crave so much as humans, that sometimes put us at a downfall when we're in it for the long run, right? When we're in it for the long run. So when we go to place a trade and it doesn't have a stop loss on, or we're over leveraged, just remember and just say to yourself, guys, right? Am I practicing self-love? If any of you guys follow me on Instagram, I preach, scream about self-love, because I've been on a journey myself, still on it. It's obviously ever going, right? But you learn to do things so that you don't feel certain ways anymore, right? You can only protect yourself, right? You can't protect what other people are going to say about you or about things or whatever it is, but you can do what you can do to control the losses. And this is what I was saying to someone yesterday, is that we can't control the markets, guys. We can't control the markets. And this what goes on to the first feeling that you guys felt when you followed the rules and it hit stop loss, right? We can't control the markets. That is something that is not within our control at all, right? What we can control is our risk, right? What we can control is our risk. So when we are trading, guys, yes, we're trading to get profits, but equally we're trading to minimize our losses. right? Because that's what we can control. We can control having our stop loss. We can control our risk to reward. We can't really control our TP. If it goes up all the way to TP, amazing. If it doesn't, not so much, right? We can't see what's going to happen in the market, guys. But we can say, I want to risk 2% of my account. I can control that, right? And this is the thing, is that we know that we're going to have lessons. And for the people that said that they feel frustrated or disappointed or gutted when we hit a stop loss, we need to take that negative connotation of having a lesson and flip it to, okay, well, at least I didn't lose my whole account. At least I managed my risk, right? Because the market is honestly gonna do what the market is gonna do, right? You hear the saying that we say, you live to trade another day, right? We live to trade another day. So we wanna detach that and say, okay, I had a lesson today. That is okay, it's understandable because I understand the risk. I understood my risk, and therefore I knew that there was a possibility that we were going to hit stop loss, right? And that's why when we speak here, we're very transparent. We understand as soon as someone comes in, yes, you are going to have lessons. It is going to happen, right? But we also have access to a 6.6 trillion a day market. So there will be more setups, guys, right? There will be more trades. You will be able to get in as long as you follow the rules, guys, right? As long as you follow the rules. But when we are trading, we want to make sure that, like everything, we understand and we assess the risks. We say, okay, this is my stop loss. I've got a video, if you guys are on my YouTube, of stop loss and risk to reward. So you guys can understand how to count your pips, how to work out your stop loss and how much you may lose, right? Roughly. So you can gauge that. So you can kind of understand what is happening in the market, guys, right? Shorsim, give me a sec, right? So when we go through the lessons, we are only learning from them, but we need to learn from them, guys, right? So you can go back into the market. How many of you guys, drop a 1 in the chat box, is when you hit a stop loss, you go into the market and you see what happened, right? You go onto Trading View, you open up your MetaTrader 4 on the chart screen, and you see what happened in the market, right? Because it gives you a little bit of a breakdown to see what's going on. Was it just a sporadic candle, right? Was there really big news going on? Was there news that happened, right? Checking Forex Factory if you're trading your currency pairs. Was there news? Was what's my man's name? Jerome Powell speaking. Did he make the US dollar shoot up or drop down? It gives you a little bit of peace of mind to understand what happened. You don't always know. You're not always going to understand, right? But at least you can see it. At least you can see that that happened to everyone, right? If everyone was in the trade, everyone would have gotten stopped out. It's not a personal thing. It's not something that you've necessarily done wrong. If you're following the rules, it just simply means that the market didn't move in your direction the way we wanted it to. So those who haven't dropped a 1 in, I really encourage you to look at the charts, get familiar with what it's saying to you. There's many a times where the price has come down, hit your stop loss, and then gone back up again, right? Many a times. It means that, yeah, your trade probably was going in the right direction, but it just hit your support and then it went back up. So it's really, really good to get an understanding of what happens, because I've heard people say, oh, my trades keep hitting stop loss, right? And it's not necessarily you. It's not necessarily, it's just maybe the time you're trading. Maybe we need to look at where the trade is. I walk away from my laptop in disgust. You can do that for like 2 seconds, but you got to come back, right? You've got to come back and check the trading view and just understand it, because it happens. And it's something that we know is going to happen, right? We know that this is an option. This is a possibility. So we don't want to be upset every time our trade hits a stop loss, because that's going to mess with our relationship with trading, right? We want to be like, okay, amazing. Like Pastor Victor said, thank God I had a stop loss. Amazing. Because I've had a stop loss and then I see the trade just keep going in the wrong direction, keep going in the wrong direction, keep going in the wrong direction. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness for that stop loss, boy, because I would have been in a lot of trouble right now, right? So we want to give thanks. The stop loss is there to protect us. It is our friend, right? It is our friend. It is there to protect us. And that is what is really important about understanding the emotions. Who journals their trades, guys? Drop a 2 into the chat box if you journal your trades. Amazing, Tracy, Gillian, right? Simone, not all the time, but sometimes. That's fair enough. Most of the time. All right, amazing. When you're journaling your trades, when you journal your trades, it is super important to write down your emotions, right? When I journaled, yeah, I'd write down my entry, my stop loss, my take profit. But for me, it was, how did you feel? How did you feel when you placed that trade? How did you feel when you were in the trade, if you were looking at it? If not, obviously you don't know. How did you feel when you got your result, right? Write it down, because it brings things to your attention. When I placed the trade, yeah, I was okay. I was a little bit sleepy, had a lot going on, had a difficult conversation. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have gotten into that trade, right? You'll remember that for next time. How did you feel when your trade hit TP? Yeah, I felt great. I felt really, really good. How did it feel when you hit stop loss? Oh, I didn't feel so good. It kind of ruined the rest of my day. When you write it down, it brings it to your attention a lot more, right? You understand, oh, wait, but why did I feel like that? Why did I understand? Because I'm here speaking about the losses and how we shouldn't have a negative feeling to it. But it's kind of the same with our take profits as well, guys, right? It's that we crave the excited feeling, right? The elation that we get when we hit take profit. When you hit take profit, how many of us are like, yes, amazing, great, yes, I made the money, great, love it, right? But equally, guys, that's not necessarily the healthiest way to do it, because that's the feeling that we are looking for when we're waiting for the trade to hit take profit. I want to be honest with you guys, and I don't know if any of you guys have done this with me. I've watched a trade, and it's like this far away from my take profit, right? This far away from my take profit. And I would sit there and wait for it to hit my take profit. What? Like, now I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. The difference might have been like 20p, £2. Why am I sitting there waiting for it to hit the take profit when we know that the market can do absolutely anything? Yes, Teresa. And the next market just goes in a different direction and then you're back where you started, right? Because we're craving that feeling of, yes, it's hit take profit. But guys, a take profit is simply a target. It doesn't mean that the price is going to hit all the time, right? It means that this is a prediction where price may get to. Put it here in case you aren't watching your phone, right? It doesn't mean if you pick up your phone and you're in profit and you've made your amount for the day, you sit there and watch it hit the take profit, right? Yes, Tanisha, you take your money and run. Take your money and run. Do not give it back to the market simply because you're waiting for that little green line next to your trades. It's not worth it, guys, right? So we want to take the emotions out of trading, because when we get paid at our jobs, guys, I'm pretty sure we're not as excited as we hit a take profit, right? And don't get me wrong, it's an achievement. It is an achievement. We've done well, but honestly, the achievement is pressing buy or sell. That's the achievement, guys, not the result. The achievement is that you've learned a skill and you understand how to place a trade. If it's hit take profit, amazing. If it hits stop loss, so be it, guys, right? But the skill and the thing that you should be celebrating is the fact that you're able to place a trade, right? That's what you should be celebrating. Yes, I've placed a trade today. I got my take profit. I got my stop loss. I did my markup. I understand what break and close is. Celebrate that, right? Celebrate that over the actual results, because then you're going to fall in love with the process, guys. And that's what you need to do. You need to fall in love with the process, because that's what's going to give you your results in the end. If you're doing it merely to just see that TP, you're not going to get it. If you fall in love with marking up your charts and placing the trades and understanding what's happening, you're going to enjoy that process, right? You're going to enjoy that moment, right? So next time you place a trade, I want you to celebrate you placing that physical trade. I want you to celebrate understanding that the candle closed underneath or above the line and now you can get in. Those are the things that we want to be celebrating in the trading journey. Yes, we celebrate people's results, but if you've noticed, right, I celebrate everyone's results, whether it's a red or a blue, because you took the action. You jumped on the call, you did your education, you placed that trade. That's what I'm celebrating. It's not the amount of money that someone has profited, right? It's literally the fact that this time last year, 2 years, 3 years ago, you didn't know what trading was. Now you're able to tell your friends that you placed a trade, you have a take profit on and a stop loss, and you can explain what a candle is, right? These are the things that we really, really want to celebrate, right? We really want to encourage, enjoy the process, guys. We are here for the long run. We are here for the long run, right? This is a skill that is going to take time, but we know that it's going to be worth it. We know it's going to be worth it. So next time you get into a trade, celebrate yourself for that, no matter what the results is, right? And then what happens, right, is when you are trading, we obviously understand that the more you have in your account, the more you can lose your lot size, all of these things, guys, right? And the reason why we have so many emotions to trading is because we have an emotional attachment to money, right? Would you agree with me that we have an emotional attachment to money as humans, right? We've worked hard for it. We've done this. We need this. We could have used that money for that. I saved up for this, right? And because there's an emotional attachment to money, when we're trading, that's why we have the emotional attachment, guys. And this is why we speak about the investment plan, right? The investment plan and building to trade, right? It's because it is a different feeling when you are able to put residual income into your trading account than the income that you worked for in your trading account, right? It's a completely different feeling. And I've learned it, and I felt that the emotional attachment isn't there as much. Yes, it's money. Yes, we can still do something with it, right? But the fact that you are able to impact lives, and this is why P600 is such a amazing place to get into, right? Because if you put, okay, we're in the UK, right? So if you put £400, let's say, you get that every month and you put that into your trading account, you are able to trade a little bit freer. You're going to look at your bank account and your money from work is still going to be there, right? It doesn't mean you're going to be reckless. It doesn't mean you're going to start doing crazy things, guys, right? But it does mean that you can take the emotion out of it just a bit, right? You can take the emotion out of it, and therefore you can trade a little bit freely. I was speaking to someone the other day and they said that when they're trading, They think about things like bills they have to pay. They think about the things that are coming up, the direct debits, the holidays, the kids' clothes, all of these things, right? And when we start to have that attachment to the money, that's when we start to get desperate. That's when we start to do things. How many of us have said, okay, I need to trade because I got a parking ticket and I need to pay for that, right? Or I no longer work and I got a bill coming up and I need to pay for that, right? And when we have that pressure on ourselves, it affects your mindset. Yes, we have a skill that we can make money from 100%. But this skill, until we are making thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds, right? This skill is not going to be able to solely live or give you the money to live, right? Yes, we're able to grow money, but it takes the discipline, and it all rolls back to it, guys. It all comes down to it. It all comes down to the discipline. It all comes down to the understanding that if we want this, if we really, really need this, if we need to make a certain amount a day, we have to be the most disciplined person ever. And even then, there will be days where you don't make your amount. You need that cushion. You need that backup in order to say, okay, that didn't work today. It's okay, right? That didn't work today. It's all right. I'm not going to go back into the market. Yes, Tanisha, it creates a resistance. It makes you feel, right? Like, okay, I need to do this. I really need to get in the chart. Oh my gosh, I didn't get a trade today, right? So guys, with the investment plan, not only are you impacting lives, not only are you showing people that this is a skill that can really help them, right? But now you are taking the pressure off yourself. You are now able to put that residual income into your trading account, into your crypto wallet, wherever it may be, and make that money grow. That's what we are, guys. We are investors. So as an investor, what happens is we put money in places in order to make it grow, guys. And that will take time, right? But it is a journey that we are all able to take. And it was a journey that we are all able to be on. But we really do need to understand the emotions that we feel throughout this journey, right? If you have to give yourself a pep talk every time you get into the chart, so be it. If you have to write down your goals, if you look at your phone, guys, your home screen should be your why. That could be yourself, your family, the house you want, wherever it is. Every time you pick up the phone to place a trade, you can see your why on your phone, right? And then you can say, okay, well, this is what I'm doing it for. This is who I'm doing it for. This is why I'm going to follow the rules. And this is why I'm going to celebrate and be proud of how far I've come on this journey, guys, right? Because every single one of you are one step closer than you were the day before. Every single one of you. Even if you feel like it may have been a bit of a tough week, even if you feel like you don't have the results you thought you would have had a year ago or whatever it is, you are one step closer to where you need to be. Now, guys, it's just consistency and discipline. Having that focus to understand, right? So we are now in the month of May, guys. Time has absolutely flown by. But I want you to drop into the chat box, what is one thing that you are going to focus on in the month of May, right? What is one thing that you want to focus on? It could be trading, it could be business, it could be life. What is one thing that you really want to focus on in the month of May? Right? What is that one thing? Because it is super, super important every month to have an intention, right? An intention. All right, Gillian, amazing. So trading. So what do you want to focus on in trading? Is it more education? Is it placing more trades? Is it understanding your risk? Break it down a little bit more. Marcia, same for you. Consistency. What do you want to be consistent in, right? What do you want to be consistent in? We want to make sure that these things are measurable, right? Because when you're able to measure something, it means that, you know, at the end of May, when I ask you guys, how did it go? You can say, yes, I did it, or no, I didn't do it, right? So same consistency with my discipline. What does that mean, Simone? Right? Does that mean that you are gonna place every single trade with a stop loss? Does it mean that whatever rules you set out for trading, you're gonna write them down and you are gonna stick to them every single time, right? Teresa, being consistent with my strategy. What does that mean, Teresa? Right? So go back into the chat box, guys, and let me know, how are you going to measure it? So Marcia, you want to be consistent in your education and trading. Amazing. How are you going to measure that? Are you going to do an hour education a day? Are you going to do 30 minutes education a day? Are you going to place one trade a day, 4 trades a week, right? Yeah, okay, so amazing. Like what Tanisha said, 1 education, go live a day. You can tick that off when you've done it, guys. You can say, okay, I've done that for today, tick, right? Lavinia, focus is on organization and time management. Amazing, Lavinia. How are you going to know that you're organized? How are you going to know that you're working on your time management? Are you going to redo your operating rhythm, right? Amazing. Read my mind. Do your operating rhythm and stick to it. Amazing. When you do things on your operating rhythm, you can tick that off. Marcia, 30 minutes of education a day. Gillian, reading the charts, knowing when to place a trade. Amazing, Gillian. So does that mean that you're going to take 30 minutes to go on TradingView? Does that mean that you're going to go on the education? And are you going to practice placing those trades on a demo account? Or are you going to place them on your live account, right? I want you guys to write down and drop into the Index Infusion section what you're going to do, right? 1 educational video a day, be consistent in charting up. Amazing, Tracy. What does consistent in charting up mean? Every day, 1 trade a day, right? You want to be able to measure it. So every day you set an alarm, or at bedtime, you look and say, okay, well, I haven't done my 30 minutes of education today, so I need to do that before I go to bed, right? Does that make sense, guys? Make it measurable so you know what actions you need to take in order to do it. Because we sit here, and I've said it, I want to be more consistent. I want to be disciplined. But I don't know how to measure that. How do I get to the end of the month and say, yeah, actually, I did that, right? Because when you can measure it, you can see it. It helps you be accountable as well. When you drop it into Index Infusion, I can hold you guys accountable as well, right? Hey, Gillian, how did that charting up go? Show me your trading views, right? Hey, Tanisha, what go live video did you watch today? Right? So these things really help you to hold yourself accountable and allows other people to hold you accountable as well. So then at the end of May, you can say, yeah, no, I didn't really do that. Or yes, actually, I smashed it. I did really, really well. I was a lot more consistent than I was in April in this particular area, guys, right? In this particular area. Super, super important to understand what it is that you need to do, where you need to go. In work, they always spoke about having SMART goals and making sure they're specific and measurable. And these are the things that we need to do in order to know where we are going, right? In order to know where we are going, what we are doing. Super, super powerful. So guys, I'm going to share with you, I'm not going to play it, but I'm just going to show you guys a video that I want you, I'm going to drop it in the group chat as well. Right? But it is this one, right? 7 trading psychology and discipline rules to dealing with losses. I would love for you guys to watch this video and drop me 3 of your takeaways in this video. It's really, really important to understand the psychology behind trading, because there is a psychology behind trading, right? It's definitely a thing, and it's something that really will help you to understand in your journey. Remember, guys, this is a skill that we are taking on for the rest of our lives, right? So in 10 years' time, we don't want to be feeling the same way we're feeling now about losses, right? We want it to be just a normal day-to-day thing. So in order to do that, we want to have the winning mindset of a trader, right? We want to have the winning mindset of a trader. Hopefully you guys have all taken that down. I'm going to stop sharing that. Yeah, so drop those takeaways also in index infusion section, so that can help you out. I'm going to stop the recording now.